So this is a brief overview of translations and dilations from the transformation unit. So for a translation, we are going to vertically or horizontally shift a figure. And we can do this in symbolic form where we do x, y equals x, or goes to x plus h, y plus k, where h represents the horizontal shift, and k represents the vertical shift. So let's look at an example. So here we have this symbolic notation. So we're going to shift to the right 5 and up 7 because I'm increasing my x value and increasing my y value. So I can literally take each point and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's one way to do it. So that would be at 2, 8. Or, let me just give myself a little space here. I can actually use that rule and I can say, well, I know each x is going to increase by 5 and each y is going to increase by 7. So I can do -6 plus, oops, sorry. Oh, I had moved off r. -6 plus 5 and -1 plus 7, which would give me a new q of -1, 6, a new r. If I added 5, I would get 2. If I added 7, I'd get 8. A new s of 6, 2, and a new t of 3, 0. So I can do it both ways. I can do the same thing for this one, but you'll notice that I'm moving now to the left because it's negative and then up 8. And I always like to draw that because it kind of gives me a mental image of what's happening. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would be my new c prime, which is at -1, 7, or I can use my rule again and say that 2 minus 3 is -1, and -1 plus 8 is 7. 7 minus 3 is 4. -4 plus 8 is 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. -6 plus 8 is 2. And that would be my translation. We also have dilations. So dilations enlarge or we'll say shrink a figure. And the scale factor which you should recognize that word from similar figures, because these are similar figures, indicate how much the figure will enlarge or reduce. So a variable for the scale factor is usually k, and when k is greater than 1, it's an enlargement. And when k is less than 1, it's a reduction, or it shrinks. So here is an example. If k is 2, I need to use that as a scale factor. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take each of these points and every single coordinate, and I'm going to multiply them by 2. So I get negative 10, 2, because negative 5 times 2 is 10, and 1 times 2 is 2. For s, I'm going to get negative 6, 8, and for t, I'm going to get 4, negative 2. And again, all I did was take that 2 and multiply everything by it. So now I'll graph those new coordinates. And I've dilated the triangle. And this is an enlargement. And then for our last example, I have this 1/3. So if I come down here and look at my triangle, it's down here, but I can make things a little bit easier just by multiplying each of those pieces by 1/3. So this is going to be a reduction because that scale factor is less than 1. And if I multiply negative 15 by 1/3, I get negative 5. Negative 3 by 1/3, I get negative 1. Negative 12 will yield 4. Negative 15 will yield negative 5. 0 stays the same. And negative 9 yields 3. So now I'm just going to graph each of those pieces. Oops, sorry. And I have my dilation. And that is it for Module 12. I hope that these 2 videos have helped you get a quick overview of the concepts. Let me know if you have any questions.